Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Welcome all. Just made it in before the snowstorm hits us, huh?
Yeah.
Snow day.
Well, I had a chance to look at the bills. Is there a motion to approve the bills? Is
I'll make a motion to approve the bills.
there a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Approval of December 10th, 2025 meeting minutes.
I'll make a motion to approve December 10th, 2025 meeting minutes.
Second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Here's your report. We'll start off with the grants. I'm happy to report that we did receive the NYSERDA 5737 grant. That was for $200,000. That grant will go towards the electric substation for the engineering cost. It's kind of earmarked for engineering. So we're grateful to get that, along with the 1.26 from our Fast New York grant. You know, brings us up to 1.46 million in grants for our electric infrastructure upgrades for in 2025.
Is it 1.46 or 1.66?
Well, it's 200,000 on top of the 1.2.
Oh, because it says in 2025 we received 1.4.
We did. That's when we got it all.
Oh, so this 200 is included in that?
Yes.
Okay.
The Fast New York was 1.26.
Hmm.
Okay, so on the other side of that, Labella Associates, we've been notified that we did not receive the grant for the comprehensive plan, the joint plan with the town. They are still looking at it and seeing when they'll be able to resubmit when the next rounds of from the CFA come out. So they're gonna see when we can resubmit that again and go for it again.
How much was that one?
What was that for, like 250,000?
Yes.
Yeah.
You're on a roll, so.
Had a good year. And Governor Hochul has just announced the opening of the New York Plays grant opportunities to expand playgrounds. So we are submitting a grant application for that. And that'll be paid for by the, we're gonna go through the county again. They're offering the $5,000 once again in their fiscal budget to pay for a grant writer. So we've been utilizing that every year. And that's how we were able to get our last park grant, so.
Is that $5,000 no matter how many grants we want written?
Yes, it's up to 5,000.
Up to 5,000?
Yeah.
Okay.
Typically, that's about what they run.
Okay.
How much is the playground?
We haven't put the total number on everything yet. It would, I'm sure we'll incorporate the playground, probably the parking lot, or, you know, milling and paving the parking lot. We got the basketball court needs to be resurfaced. There's things in the park yet to be done. The playground alone they cost a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll sum it all up and work and get that submitted. I attended the Bergen Fire Department monthly meeting on Monday, January 5th. And as I reported in my report here, the village had 96 calls in the village in 2025, 219 calls in the town. And that's not counting the calls in Riga and all the mutual aid calls that the department goes on. So you can see how busy they are. I mean, I can't say enough for what they do for our community. So hats off to the Bergen Fire Department. To seal bids, we'll get into in our new business. We did receive 2 bids, so we'll go over those in the new business. Sunday, January 18th is scheduled date to convert the remainder of the Apple Tree Corporate Park. Right now, we've got Oxbow converted and Liberty Pumps have been converted to the new upgrade. Sunday, the rest of the park will be switched over to the higher voltage.
How's it gone?
Good so far.
Oh.
Yeah, been good.
You literally switch one off and switch the other one on?
Yeah, whether the transformers have taps on them, and you flip a tap on them,
Oh.
and it changes the windings, so it changes taps to the other voltage.
Wow.
Oh.
They're dual voltage transformers. We, in preparation for this upgrade, we've been working on this for the last few years, because these things cost a lot of money, these transformers, and we were able to replace them all for this time where we can just now physically just
Yeah.
tap. It'll be the same thing when we do the village. All the transformers that are in the village here, they've all got the dual tap, so we'll bring mutual aid in, and we'll have all the work orders for all the different crews and say, here's your street, here's your transformers, and
Because then they work all together at the same time and do
Yep.
their flips?
yeah. Yeah. Yep, so we'll do that along with the mutual aid, so.
That's exciting.
It's done on a Sunday, you might question Sunday, but that's when all the businesses are pretty much closed up there, so you gotta do it when they're not operating. So our guys will be up there, just our guys will be up there switching them over. And we have a meeting scheduled, Mark Massey and Chris Swazi, they're coming here on January 23rd to discuss housing and just everything in general, any way that they might be able to help us, whether it be with housing or in the park. So I'm looking forward to that meeting. So if any of you want to join us for that meeting, again, it's January 23rd.
You know what time?
It's at 11 o'clock.
Is that a Wednesday?
It's a Friday.
Right. And just a note about that, if more than one of you want to be here with Joe, we'll have to advertise it as a meeting.
Sure, couldn't we can't get three.
That will be hard for me to make, so.
Okay.
It's just gonna be held here?
How about you might be working?
I gotta look at my schedule.
Okay.
I should be available for that.
Yeah, I mean, if Todd wants to come, that'd be great.
Okay. Bob, would you want, any interest, or you want just Todd, or you want us to post it if you want to come?
I'd be interested. I'm doing RIT again Tuesday, Thursday, so Friday I'd be available, so, yeah.
Okay.
And did you have to post a meeting?
Yeah.
That means the public's allowed to come, is that what that
Yes.
means?
What time?
11.
But we want to-
Yes.
I'll let you know, Courtney, if I'm gonna jump in as well.
Okay, that's all I got, Courtney.
So that 11:30?
11.
11.
All right, I'll have my report in front of you. Just a couple things to point out. We have an agreement with Churchville. They have a sweeper, we don't have a street sweeper, so they come and sweep our streets for us, and kind of made an agreement with them a few years ago that we would pay for the brushes. They use their machine, and that, so I think that was in the bills. Or if it wasn't, it will be. It's a good compromise. We had a couple of street sweepers, and they're just so expensive, and the maintenance is horrible, so, it's a good.
That's something to do.
Yeah. You'd think the village of Churchill doing this for us.
Keep benefits, they're going to a lot of people in the village, the building shut down, it's taking a month now to get those benefits, and the fact is, because there are people that need help. haven't gotten a lot, probably about half. New tenants, like I told you about that last time, so they are officially renting space out back. Meeting clothesline, they collect clothes donations, and then they sort them. Charities that we work with take close to. It's a really nice program that we do. So I have a lot of work renters and pay with advance. I think so. It's great. They would like to come into a meeting in the future, introduce themselves to all of you, ask your help to identify some areas they can help with.
Do you know if they're working with churches or anything?
Yes, they mentioned they work with Methodist Church. In connection with any questions on my reports?
Just the one grant, is it 190,000 or 200?
It's, depends how you put
Just
it.
cost share or something?
Yeah.
Oh.
So it's 200,000, I think our shares. Yeah, we always kind of go back and forth on it because
Yeah.
we can really call it. You say, hey, we got
It's really
$1
an
million
award for
grant,
sure.
but you have to kick in 250, you know, and so we can kind of have that discussion. And every grant can be a little bit different. They presented the $1 million grant that was awarded one, it's a little bit $2 million, and but they can expect us to kick in 250, so it's 1.5. They do it like that, which is better than saying, hey, yeah, 200. So engineering planning grant, so that may be 50, but that.
Any questions on Courtney's report? Your sister's CEO report for December.
I was surprised to see a cap that went into it. And that's what happened.
I was kind of surprised to see kitchen remodel.
Yeah.
Well, I guess maybe anything that requires electricity.
Changing electric or plumbing, I think we have to.
Structure.
So maybe they have all that, maybe very well, they can change it.
That walls at the deep there.
I'm sure they're required, Gary knows the rules. You would have told the homeowners, no, you don't need one unless you do need one.
I make a motion, we accept the reports from mayor, Courtney, and zoning.
I'll second.
All in favor? All right, trustee concerns, Bernadette.
No concerns, so before the meeting, Rush picked up this discussion, a couple of folks asked if their meetings going, if the brush hours, what would happen. I wasn't sure, but the village guys always come out if they see something all the time, or the counties come out. So I want to thank you guys for doing that.
I know in the past, I remember in one of my newsletters, I put in there probably more than once. You know, we stop our brush pickup in November, but in case of severe weather, then, we'll do what we have to do then, so. We'll do that. Okay. Todd?
No concerns, just want to express gratitude to the DPW guys for putting all the hours in here. It's been a busy winter so far.
Yeah. Put in some hours. Tomorrow, all day probably, and. Okay, we'll pass that on to the guys.
Yeah, I just echo what Mike mentioned about brush pickup. There's a number of people in the subdivision with branches went down, and also how important that they see we can get another run. In fact, I put some stuff out today from our village.
They're a messy tree.
Terrible, it's like a weed.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so I appreciate that they go around the whole time and pick all that stuff up, so we're leaving it until it grows. Okay.
Good. Okay, under new business, resolution 1 of 2026. I asked Courtney to draw up this resolution, the board resolution to dedicate Hickory Park Pavilion to the fire department. We know the old pavilion was dedicated to the fire department, and I thought it was only fitting that this new pavilion in the park also be dedicated to the Bergen Fire Department for all they do for this community.
Good idea.
Yep.
We need
I need a motion to,
I'll make a motion to accept the resolution 1 of 2026 for the pavilion dedication to the fire department.
is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
We're gonna have a dedication thing and
Yes.
plaque and all that?
Yes, we will set a date for that.
Good.
We'll have a plaque made up, nice plaque, put them out right on the pavilion. So, okay, good. Resolution 2 of 2026, a resolution establishing the polling place and hours for the 2026 village election.
It's here.
And that would be
This
held
room.
here in this room.
That's typical.
Yes.
Just a note, by law, election can't be held on St. Patrick's Day. So the election is always on Tuesdays, but because St. Patrick's Day is on Tuesday the 17th, the election is moved to March 18th on a Wednesday.
Is the law that it has to be the next closest day to the Tuesday?
Right.
Okay, it
Yeah.
can't be the following Tuesday? Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
I make a motion that we accept the resolution number 2 for 2026 for establishing polling place and hours for 2026 village election.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Resolution 3 of 2026, setting of election inspector commissions for the March 2026 general village elections.
I'll make a motion for resolution 3 of 2026, setting the election inspection commissions for March 2026 general village elections.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
It's a lot of work for $100.
Yeah.
They're here all day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Next thing on the agenda under new business is the BEEP, which is our Bergen Energy Efficiency Program, policy exception for Norterra. And Courtney, I'll let you explain that.
Yeah, Norterra contacted me, a contractor that they're using. They are retrofitting all the lights in the factory with LEDs. It's gonna be over $200,000 on their part. So, when we met with the plant manager and district manager, They didn't know about BEEP, Joe informed them about it, so I'm sure that's why we got the call. So they're looking for some funds towards that project. It's up to you how much you want to give.
What would they normally be eligible for with that amount of?
Well, our
LED lights?
limits are pretty low.
Yeah.
Like $2,500 per year.
Okay.
Is that
But-
based on some kind of percentage or something?
No, that was just a number that the board decided on years ago.
So we're saying it would be a maximum of $2,500?
That's what the policy is now.
Okay.
So they were wondering if they could make an exception to give them more. Previously, we agreed to give Oxbow 10,000, up to 10,000, and the town up to 10,000. So we can go for 10,000 if people want to. The town never came through with their project, so I haven't heard anything from them.
What was the town project that they wanted?
I think they were going for the Clean Energy Community Grant.
Okay.
And if they got that, then part of that would have been installing lights and whatnot, so.
Just in the fire department? and-
Yeah, probably all the garage and the offices.
Courtney, what's the current balance of the BEEP?
About almost 38,000.
And it lasts how long?
It's just ongoing.
Every
Yeah,
month
every,
you could-
every month they replenish, we get money from bills.
There's a 1 mil adder added to all the electric bills.
Oh,
It's permitted through the Public Service Commission.
mhm.
We're allowed to collect a 1 mil adder, which is 1/10 of 1 cent.
So like how much goes in it every month?
Depends on, like, if
How much
North Terra is
we
running
How much is
a
collected?
lot, or now with Oxbow on board also. Uh,
Yeah.
It's not being about 35 to 40 a year.
This is the fund we increased for village residences for furnace replacements,
Yeah.
refrigerators,
Yeah.
trying to spend
And
down
we
some of that.
did tap into that for something, in the
car.
vehicle, yes.
Correct.
Right,
Yeah.
okay.
That's why, usually we've had a lot more money in there, but because we bought the car, and that was a big
Yeah.
chunk that it dropped the balance.
I mean, if we've set precedent with 10,000 for large businesses within our village, I'd be okay with going up to that threshold, but I'm open to other people's suggestions. I mean, this is money that continually gets replenished. It's not at taxpayer expense, right?
Right.
So, I mean, and they're our partner in the community, a good partner.
So I think it would be fair to give them what others have gotten in
Right,
that
I wouldn't go
same
anything beyond
situation.
that, no.
What was the project size for Oxbow?
It was a construction, so I'm not sure, I can't remember how much, it seemed like, yeah, I don't remember off the top of my head what the project for, because I don't believe they've put it forward yet either, so.
But it would be for lighting and other things?
Right, it was a commercial lighting rebate program,
Yeah.
other energy efficient things, but that's the top one for commercial, and lights.
I'm not opposed to the 10,000, but I wondered if it was like a huge percentage difference in the project size.
Yeah. Well, they're investing 200,000, right, or something. It's a pretty good investment.
and
I
they're-
was wondering for more.
Well, no, I don't.
Yeah.
they're,
For less, I'm open to whatever.
They're our biggest revenue customer,
Yeah.
so they pay the most to BEEP.
Yeah.
And
So-
we-
So it's-
and we rented property from them for $1, right?
Well, for 40 years at least.
Is there any justification for more? Because that's
What do you think,
5%,
Bob?
right? Do you
Pardon me?
think
What do you
up to
think?
10%?
I think if precedent set is 10, I'm okay with 10.
Yeah, I think 10. I don't really want to see it go lower than that right now.
Yeah.
For the balance of,
I think that would show good faith that,
yeah.
yeah, that
Yeah.
they're a good partner, and, you know, if you're willing to make changes, sure,
Yeah.
you know.
And then we think of it as a flat rate as opposed to a percent.
Right.
Yeah, so it's a one-time thing. 10, okay. Yeah, I'm okay with that, 10.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Is there a motion then to raise raise this to 10,000 this one time for Norterra.
I'll make a motion to raise the beep policy exception or to offer a $10,000 beep exception for Norterra.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Okay.
Oh, just start with this one.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So we have been a tree city for maybe over 15 years.
15, yeah.
15 years.
And what does it mean?
Yeah, what does that entail?
So a tree city, you promise to maintain your trees, do certain things every year to keep health, plant trees. And so we've done that all along. And there's a process of, Arbor Day, we do an Arbor Day celebration every year, plant trees every year. We have a, great tree trimming policy. At one point, we had all of our trees in the village marked, and so that we know where they were and what they were. That came from out of there too. But anyway, so we've done that for quite some time. Oddly enough, though, part of the process is we had to pass an ordinance outlining the rules and what our policy is going to be. For the last 15 years, they took that without a problem. This year, we got it back saying that it was an ordinance but not filed as a local law, and that if it's not a local law, it's not enforceable. So
What does it state?
What would you be trying to force?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing I don't really understand, because there's really nothing we can enforce. There's nothing that if, you've got a tree down in your yard that we can do about it. But it's what they want. It's what they
So-
require.
They want an ordinance for preserving trees that you don't arbitrarily just kind of cut one down.
Yeah, so our policy's not enforceable.
Okay.
I don't, there's nothing in there to make that, anyway. So, we need to have a public hearing and then pass the ordinance and local law to make it official, so we'll continue to take our, application.
What would you even say at the public hearing? It's so odd.
Well, I'll give you a copy of the ordinance, and you can,
What's the benefit of being a tree city?
There's some, it does help with some grants, some
Okay.
grants, and just
For trees?
just the dedication to trees.
Do you get cheap trees, saplings or something every
They
year?
do have programs for trees through for there, but because we're part of the Power Authority, we get a lot better trees with bigger. Sometimes the everyday people send us like 10 pine trees, and they're like, this big, and they all come in the mail. And then you plant them, and then somebody hits them with a weed whacker or goes over with a lawnmower, and they're all done.
Yeah.
So this wasn't something we had anticipated happening, and like I said, it's been going on for 15 years. So, I would have thought that the initial time we submitted the application, that it would have been rejected for that purpose. About 15 years later, I don't know who got a hold of it and whatever, but it's just a step to continue that.
If you look in the hallway when you come in there, on the wall there, the different years, all the years in a row that we qualified for it, so it's kind of like to keep it going.
Is there a fee that we have to pay into it or no?
No, it's really nothing.
Okay.
It's for the village to claim that they are
They're
a
a
tree
tree
city.
Yeah,
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
years ago, we used to have trees available to us that we could plant, between the curb and but we haven't done that in a long, long time.
You mean you as residents?
Oh, yeah,
Oh.
they had them all stacked up and you can go pick up trees
yeah, we can do that again.
and that, I would say if we're gonna do that, then let's make them available to them. I haven't seen that in a long time. Do you remember that?
I do, because the one in front of my house is
Yeah.
one of those.
Yeah, I have a little leaf linden in front of our place that came from that and.
Yeah.
That's part of the Power Authority program.
Yeah.
It's
That would be
for
cool.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah,
Let's
for
see
energy
some
efficiency
benefit to
too.
it, you know?
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
For the shade,
Yeah.
keeps your house cooler.
Yep.
I
Yes.
still am a little leery about making it a law. I don't know what that is. I'm not looking to have people somehow or another monitored by somebody in case they cut a tree down and
Yeah.
not be able to cut their tree down. So I guess I want to look at the wording of that.
Yeah.
You know, I think that's a little.
Will that come up at the public hearing, the wording and
So
stuff?
you'll get to look at it and,
Okay.
you know, I can get it to you tomorrow.
Okay.
I'd like to look at
Yeah.
that first before I.
Yeah, I don't want, yeah, like you said, I don't want people to
I'm
come
not
around going,
looking
ah,
to-
here's a ticket for cutting down your tree.
Right.
The tree police.
Correct.
My tree.
Right. Right, I got a nuisance tree, but I can't take it down because someone in Albany loves it.
Okay.
I see it all the time.
No, it's a good point.
Yeah.
Good
Yeah,
point.
yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Do we need a motion for that line or no?
No, we'll just table it.
Okay.
Send us the info and then.
The electric substation construction bid. We received 2 bids. And on your sheet, you can see we got one from Northline, who is our engineering firm now. And then O'Connell Electric bid on it also. And again, there aren't a lot of companies out there doing this kind of work. And we opened the bids, and as you can see, Northline was the lowest bid by a considerable amount. And their bid specs were sent to our PLM to look it over, and Mike Barrett, our engineer, came back and said everything looked good, and it's their summary that we award the bid to Northline Utilities. They've done work with both of them. They say they're both reputable and qualified contractors. So, again, that's, their summary is award the bid to Northline Utilities.
And both bids are within the ranges that you were expecting?
We didn't know what they would be. We had no,
And is it covered by some of the grants?
this part, not really. Some of this will be, but most of this is just, no, most of it's not gonna be through the grant.
This is something we'll have to take a bond note on, or, okay.
Yeah. This is for the hard digging labor materials. Fence around the plate, all the upgrade, ripping that station out of there.
What's the timeline for this?
They're supposed to start in the spring and hopefully by the fall of 2026.
And the grant money we received is for the physical materials?
Yeah, yes.
That's mainly
Equipment.
Equipment, the actual.
And that's included in that price, the equipment and labor, right, in their bids?
Yes,
Okay.
But not the transformers.
Right.
The big
Right.
things,
Okay.
just the construction.
construction and physically putting the equipment in place, all the excavation, the pouring of the concrete, the grounding grid.
So, I guess, okay, so where does the 1.5 or 1.9 million come from then?
From our grant,
Covers all of
or
it?
from our bonds, I should say.
We're gonna have to take out a bond.
Take out a bond.
Yeah.
And that has to be approved? We have to go through an approval process for
That's already been done.
public hearing stuff? No, yet?
We already did that.
Yeah, we did that quite a while ago. We've already got the bond anticipation on in
Okay.
Yeah.
the
That
process.
that incorporated $3.4 million,
Okay, that's what I was wondering.
The bond.
The 3 million.
which is a ban now.
Yeah.
Oh,
Now we're just dividing that out.
Okay, so this is just
So
one
this was,
quote.
yeah, this
and then
money,
that.
Got it.
this amount was figured into
Okay,
it.
all right, very good.
So when we decided on whatever the 3.4
Correct.
million was, did we have any idea that
No.
this part of it was gonna be this amount? Like, is there room in that 3.4
I
million?
think it's in line,
Oh,
I really do.
PLM projected
Yeah.
what they thought it would all come in as, you know.
Because I don't remember if we did review what was in that detail.
Yeah, I think the 1.9 would have been high for us, but
Yeah.
the 1.581, I think it's right in line with what was thought to be.
Okay.
Well, we have the two bids, I certainly support the 1.58, you know.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, is there any reason that we would not want to accept one of these bids?
No, not that I can think of, no.
Because the work has to get done, right?
It's gotta get done.
There's not a third company that would be interested in bidding.
They didn't bid it.
Right. And I don't really feel like I don't feel like we have a choice.
There's at least two other companies who came to the pre-bid meeting or called and asked about it.
But they didn't.
They didn't
But they
submit
didn't
bids.
submit,
Ah.
so it was their decision.
It may have been, maybe it's too small. It sounds like a lot, but this is small. When you're talking major, substations,
Mhm.
this is peanuts compared to what some of these contractors would do. But these are two of the top ones in the, again, I don't know of other ones that are out there that such a select few to choose from that. And these are both very capable and qualified.
So I'm on the North Line Utilities guys, and Bernadette, so whatever, you guys support it.
Yeah.
Everybody good with that?
Yeah,
Yep.
Okay, so do we need a motion?
yes.
I'll make a motion to accept North Line Utilities LLC for the substation contract bid.
I'll second.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. And Courtney, you'll let them know? Okay. All right, we're on to the 2026-2027 budget discussion.
You want to skip over to the cameras?
Oh, okay, is that,
Yeah, under old business.
We have them right.
Oh, okay.
We had said
can do
new
that
business,
first.
I couldn't remember talking about it before.
Yeah, we talked about it a little bit, and I talked about the quotes that I was gonna get. So I have 3 quotes here, and I did some research and talked to some people who know cameras. And between price and quality, this is, not low and by any means. It's not the most expensive, it's, kind of between mid-range and high-end. This is supposed to last a really long time, good support. So came up with what I wanted, and I got the quotes from 3 companies who would do that for us.
So it's 5 cameras and then whatever poles or electronics and
Yeah,
installation.
it'll be the cameras and the storage unit for the information. And got Bell Datacom, Barnon Design, and CDWG.
Clearly we would just go with the cheapest one unless you thought there was some reason not to.
No, I would go with the cheapest one. It's the same exact equipment. It's just-
Where is the equipment going to be, other than the cameras, where is the rest of it going to be?
We'll put the unit that collects the information in the back of the bathroom.
Okay.
Because there's conduit we can run from there to poles. We already have it laid out where we're gonna put the cameras.
Are they hardwired?
Yes,
Okay.
there'll be Cat5 cable.
Were there cameras there before?
Yes, but when we took the poles down in the park, the wires, went around the park and had cameras in places that took those down. So we're gonna go to a pole next to the bathroom by the playground. You can put 3 there, one at the bathroom, one at the back, one at the playground, and then we're gonna go conduit over to the front pavilion, put 2 in the front pavilion, 1 on the side facing the basketball court, and then on the other side facing north, there's a playground in the parking lot.
And who's going to have visibility to activity going on?
So what I'd like to do is, probably the easiest thing to do, because to get connectivity, I don't want to run Spectrum to there for internet. So I think the best idea is to get a cellular hotspot
Mhm.
and have it located in the bathroom.
Okay, and then
Run off there, and then we'll have it go to the server, our server here,
Mhm.
and also I can look at it through my computer.
So something is going on, we're just gonna have recorded data for a certain amount of time, so we can look back at it as far as activity, current activity, or things that are going on at the moment. Will you get notified of motion, or?
I probably could do that, but I probably wouldn't want to do that.
Yeah, you don't want to be the
You guys will be going off every 5 minutes.
The relief that goes on.
Yeah. Every person walks the dog. And
So it's really more for recording purposes than it is for looking at the moment.
Yes.
I see.
If something happened, go back and see the.
Yeah.
And it's worked in the past, we can't really have,
For
catching
vandalism?
vandalism, we had some spray painting going on, we had kids broke the front fence. That all got kind of caught.
Can we post signs that say there's?
We have, we did have them, I don't think we have them up anymore, but, yeah. These cameras are all specific to the, what they're going to be looking at. The one camera is a lot more than the other cameras, because that's the one that's gonna get the whole, looking all the way back to the back of the building. So that's over 100 yards that we want this camera to be able to see, so it's a special long distance camera.
I was wondering if you were gonna put one in the back.
If you hardwire them, you can't do that. It's too far. We'll have to get the rest of it, going more conduit. We talked about some cameras that were battery operated, but then are maybe not really change the battery. And then, so this is the best.
Power there. Yeah.
So, can we, are we making a motion about which one?
Yeah, yes. Okay. Which one? The lowest bid, or just, the project.
I mean, unless you thought one was extremely more reputable or had better equipment, I would suggest one.
Chief one is good, and he's our IT person already.
Oh, nice. So, I make a motion to accept the validated code for cameras.
Thank you, second.
Aye.
Those in favor? Do you need the price of it? Motion? 6580.
This
Yeah,
was really a year ago?
I know.
Or was it like May or something?
Well, we passed it April.
I really think it's 2 months ago.
I was on my cruise, I think.
Let's go now, Bob. Let's go.
All right, Courtney, take it away.
All right, so how do you want me to go about this?
Let's be general.
I was wondering about, you want to go line to line, do you want me to point out the major changes?
Major changes.
We could maybe start with sewer, because that's probably going to take the, that's the hardest conversation.
Okay.
So, on the first page under revenue, I got one spot highlighted, sewer service for government, that we mix sewer with the school pays us for taking their sewer. There's a contract in place with them, and it outlines what we charge them. So that calculation is the total amount of appropriations, which is 609, 857.2, minus 82,500. 82,500 is for a bond that we took out when we sewer plant. They paid the debt service for that already, so it can't be included in this. So it's total appropriations minus 82,500 times 6.2%. So that's what it comes to.
And so the significant increase is because something didn't happen.
Yeah, so that's that. It was under sewer rents. I see it says 475. That is what we're proposing right now. Renee looked at. We get the water report in October. And that's what Monroe County Water Authority report. That's what we base off usage and so based on priors and the last report and Oxbow going online at $47,500. Now, if you would go to page 3, at the very bottom, surplus deficit. So with that amount of $475,000, we're projecting a loss of almost $78,000. If you go up that page just a ways, 11/81/30/04 treatment disposal contractual. And that, see there, that I increased that line by $75,000.
So it went down from 24 by 75, and now it's went back up by 75.
That was budget, that was, the 100,000 was the budgeted amount, not the actual amount.
Oh, okay, good.
So last fiscal year, the 24-25 fiscal year, the sewer lost $79,000, right? And we are on track to do at least that much again. Let me just pull this out.
So I have a question. So the timing of the 2024-2025 actuals is, like, you don't have the final actuals done while you're doing the budget for 25-26, and that's why you don't have 25-26 actuals, because we're not done with that year either?
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, because we're just halfway through the budget year. So, a little bit of information for you.
And the contractual, like for that line, the treatment disposal contractual, who, is that multiple contracts with?
So that's, yeah, so it's a lot of different things. So, let me just, let's do that sheet. So under that, under the treatment disposal are all the chemicals that we buy for the treatment of the plant. And that is really where the biggest gain is. Since the previous year was a $40,000 increase in that, but we're continuing to see that go up. So the two that we, there's alum, which treats phosphorus, but we only have to do that during the summer months. So from April to October, we put alum in. The rest of the year is caustic, which is calcium, sodium hydroxide, and that treats pH. So we have to keep to our output of the water that gets tested, that goes into that creek. We have to keep at a certain level. And we use the chemicals to treat it at that level, and if we don't keep them at that level, and, then we get in trouble with the DEC. So we can't do without the chemicals.
That's in the contractual line.
Yes.
And the chemical, cost of chemicals is really going up? Is that it?
Yes.
Is it
I think he said $40,000.
$40,000 increase.
because of tariffs or?
Right.
Is that what?
The alum specifically, so the caustic too, is tariff related. Also, we are treating more, for some reason, whatever is coming through the plant, is taking more caustic to keep the pH levels at the right line. They've been having some real troubles, in having to, put more in there.
That's what I was
So we're using
wondering.
more in.
If some of the work that was done like back here and with the storm drains or whatever, if that's reducing some level of water that's going down there, will that help the chemical load?
No, that, it kind of hurts it because it dilutes it.
Yeah, so will it help that it's being fixed and there's less of that water going through there now?
It should help.
But again, there's 20 more places like that in the village.
So we had that melt off, last week,
Mhm.
and it, with the rain and the warmth, it melted pretty quickly, and we saw the intake down there double in that time period than normal. But the good thing is, Chris feels that it was less than it would normally be for that situation.
Because of the repairs that went up.
He feels like it really helped quite a bit with them, and it should, because, I don't know if I don't know if I showed you any video, but we took a video from years ago, Joe's, to his yard, and it was just like, just water just pouring. So the calculation that CPL did about, they did a calculation what they thought, based on that video, how much water was taken in gallons per minute, and it was absurd. So I'm sure it helped and whatever, but like Joe said, there is a lot more places out there. So if we can, we got the $1 million grant, if we can get the second one, do the whole project, then decrease that intake, that would be a huge help for the system. But it's not gonna help our financial situation.
So I just have more chemical questions. Is your estimate of the increase based on like number, like quantities, your grams or whatever times the price, or just kind of looking at where it came in the year before and knowing that it's not going to go down? I'm looking at the current, I haven't looked at exactly how much we've used, it's just the dollar amount that's going up.
So where do we get the money?
Well,
That's the hard part.
Yeah,
We can-
There's only one place that we can get that money, and that's to increase our sewer rates.
You just did. You can't shut that down people's throat again. Wow.
And
I mean, as a citizen, I don't like it.
none of us like it.
No, I know, but Jesus.
But, so where do we come up with $70,000 a year? We have, the budget itself is extremely small. We've cut everything we can cut. The pickup truck that Chris uses belongs to a general, and it doesn't get paid. The RTV and the skid steer, the general fund pays for those. Part of his salary, part of his health benefits, all that comes out in general. Part of it does, we scaled way back, even like my pay and Renee and Barb's, because we work on all three funds. It's calculated, so we've, gone down to as low as we possibly can, taking any parts of our salaries out of the sewer fund. It's a big gap to fill.
And the principal and interest changed a lot? Is that just because the principal's paid off and now it's all just interest? Or what?
Did I put in your packets?
Or-
principal, and yes.
Yeah.
If you look behind the sewer budget is our bonds, and if you look there, this is another, it's right there. Yeah, right. So this is another big problem, is the debt that we have in sewer. It's almost $140,000 a year, and it's about 23% of our budget is paying debt. And if you look at the highlighted areas in bold, you can see that there's no help coming anytime soon.
They go that long?
They go that long.
And the equipment that's there?
Yep. The main one, the 82,500, was for the original, for the current plant in 2012. Yeah, they did it for that long.
And the problem, once you get to this end date, then it's time to replace the whole facility again.
Yeah, right.
You know, that's what we were up against the last time.
Yeah, and that's something I had heard quite a while, and Bob, you might remember when they put the original plan, when they put the whole system in, when they put the septics in, and for the very first time had a village-wide sewer, they told everybody, at 30 years, it'll all be paid off, and you won't have to pay for this anymore.
And how many people said it was a bad system to go with?
Yeah.
Right? Doug Susat and Company, we were at the Grange over here and going, no, this is not good.
It's a nightmare.
And they said, wow, this is all we can afford, this is all the government's gonna give us a grant for, and it's been a nightmare ever since.
And now we're paying for it.
Yeah.
Even
Yeah.
more.
But you can't ask them to keep every single year to keep bumping it up. I mean, my God, where does it end?
So a lot of people, so when they went and put the new plant in there, it cost almost $2.4 million. We had lots of people come in saying, hey, you said, they told me 30 years ago that's going to be paid off, I don't have to pay it anymore. Why am I still paying? Well, they put a new plant in. Why'd they do that? Well, they don't know it was 30 years old. So what Joe's saying, in 2041, by that time, I would have to have a new plant.
Yeah, this problem, it goes decades back. This didn't happen overnight.
So that's, I mean, 23% of our home budget, when the budget's only, $500,000-$600,000 is tremendous.
All right, so
tremendous amount.
dividing that out, what does that look like per resident if we're asking an increase for the sewers?
Renee ran the numbers with the current water report, where everybody's at, including industrial, looking at $35 to $40 per quarter.
So $120 a year addition to everybody, no matter what their usage is, no matter what, it's across the board,
It'd be 160.
$160.
4 quarters.
4 quarters. Well, what did you say?
35 to 40.
Oh, okay.
And that just gets us to the break-even point.
Yeah.
And then
You
we're
know,
anticipating
everything's gonna
next
keep-
year.
Is there a way we can,
Anything in the general
Just,
fund or reserve fund?
tax rate for making this up?
So, 3 funds are completely separate and cannot be commingled. You can't use tax money to bail out the sewer plant, unfortunately.
What about reserve funds from any other fund, general fund? Can
So,
you offset anything?
the sewer fund lost $79,000 last year. And it lost, I have too many papers here, things written down.
What does lost mean, Courtney? I don't want to confuse you more. When you say lost, what's that mean?
Revenue,
We
Expenditures.
spent more money than we took in.
Okay, and that's what that deficit number is then?
Yes.
Okay.
Just had it, I don't know where I stuck it, but anyway, so because the sewer doesn't have the money to absorb the loss.
Right.
It borrowed the money from general. And by law, we're supposed to have that paid off by the end of this year. So we have 2 full years of loss on the sewer end that the sewer owns over the general fund. Right, so it's about $86,000 that sewer owns over stuff. So what I'm also going to propose is that we have the sewer reserve fund that was put together, I don't know, 20 years ago probably to start. The idea was to put money into that fund every year to build it up to help with the new plant or whatever. And it wasn't used towards the new plant. And so we still have it. It's about $182,000 in a reserve. And I wanted to keep it. We changed the type of reserve over so that it would be for the replacement of tanks. So when those tanks started going bad, we had some money to do that. But in this case, we need to pay the general back, and so I'm going to propose at some point in time that we take money out of that reserve and pay general back.
And then you end up with $100,000
Right.
in that.
But we still are going to be $80,000 into the new budget. Still proposing to add a raise to everyone's sewer.
Yeah, that
Because
money
we're
was just,
anticipating it's going to happen and continue to happen.
yeah, so that was just paying money back.
That's
where
just
we
paying
borrowed.
our debt
Yes.
by law.
By law, we have to do that.
Wow.
So if you did not have the reserve and something happened to a tank, like you said, where does that come from? What happens?
Yeah.
You sit here and figure it out.
You can't pay for it and then the sewer doesn't work? Or,
Yeah, well, I mean, we have to borrow money from general.
And we,
You know, and do the loop of, you know, and at some point, we're not gonna have any reserve left, any savings left, nowhere to go. You know, I've been struggling with this from day one, looking at this, because this day was coming.
oh, we know.
We knew for, you know, as soon as they put that system in 1982, this was coming. They said they were gonna save this money, that's all we can afford. They just passed the buck down to us, right? And the problem is, this is even if we raise rates, it's not the end of it, right? Because things are gonna continue to go up, but the tanks are 40 years old, and the lifespan of a tank is 40 years old. And so these tanks are gonna start going bad. You know, some tanks, like my tank in my house, it's original, they say it's like 60 years old. I can only hope that these tanks last that long, because then I won't be here anymore. But if these tanks start going bad on a regular basis, or the lines start going bad, where are we gonna come up with money?
We're gonna need
to
grant
fix that?
money, we're gonna need state grant money to bail this out.
There is no good answer whatsoever for this,
there's no good state.
because we can't eliminate the tanks. Because the line, you know, the plant isn't made for solids, and the pipes to get that stuff there weren't made for solids, they're made for just the liquids. So we can't get rid of the tanks. One thing that has been discussed is that could save us a little bit of money, and this is gonna be just as unpopular as raising rates, and that is to give the tanks to residents.
Yeah.
And then they'd have to become responsible for pumping it out.
Hmm.
I don't know how many people would really be happy about being given a 40-year-old septic tank, knowing that they're gonna have to replace it themselves and incur.
It's a crapshoot. They
Six,
figure,
seven.
well, it might last me until I move out of here, and maybe they won't mind. I don't know.
Yeah, it could, you know, you're talking
Maybe
probably
not
$5,000-6,000.
Yeah, that's
Or-
right, is there a way
Is
to
it an
opt
opt-in,
out?
opt-out program? You know, yeah, I'll let the village keep it, or I'll do it myself.
But then you have to keep track of an inventory
Yeah.
of what
Who has it,
tanks.
who
that
has
are
it. Who
around.
has it.
They all have their problems.
And the rate we get charged, 80 call charges would be different because they're not gonna pump as many.
Is it worth chatting with Steve Hawley about what's available for us? I mean, it's a unique situation, and he's gotta be sympathetic with, yeah, you're stuck with this, and it's just gonna keep going up and up and up. I'm wondering if chatting with him about what's available from the state. I mean, we gotta have some kind of help.
I certainly can see, pick his brain, but from a revenue standpoint, unless they come up with a way to wipe out the debt, I don't know, or get additional revenue from year to year.
They seem to come up with it for other things, you know, for
No,
other villages.
definitely wouldn't hurt.
Yeah, I mean, if it was Fairport, I mean, they'd be jumping all over it, you know?
We got, you know, Mark Massey coming here too with Chris Wazzy
Yeah,
next week.
yeah.
Notify them also.
Yeah.
Good idea there.
Yeah.
They know a lot of people. It's,
They could bankrupt a municipality, and it's bad,
Yeah, for
it's a
sure.
bad deal.
I lose sleep over this.
Mm.
And I wouldn't guess that any type of refinancing would be beneficial, but.
Yeah, the big one, 82,500, that one is 0% interest.
Mm.
Is there any equipment that can be sold? or something?
That's a temporary solution.
Yeah, sure.
But, you know, like I said, we need revenue every single year to make this work.
So, as Bernadette said, if we continue to upgrade these pumps that are in the ground that keep keep infiltrating water and sending it up, if that lessens, then the amount of chemicals lessens as well. So, you know, hopefully in the future, we'll have need for less of that.
No, because the infiltration only happens when you get big rain events
Yeah.
or melt-offs. So those things only happen
Okay.
a few times a year.
Okay.
We need a new revenue source, you know,
Wow.
and I don't know what that is.
Are there other municipalities who have similar problems?
There's probably only a couple gray water septic systems in the entire state, and there's only like 2 or 3 plants like we have in the entire country, well, northeast.
That's why it's hard to say, well, it's, you know, the rates for Oakville or Alba, it's not apples to apples here.
Well,
This plant is unique, like you said, there's only, what, 2 of them in the whole state, I think. It's been a money pit from day one.
One of the things is we've lost, you know, it looks like the revenue projection is higher, but it's actually not as much as it should, because Liberty Pumps has used a lot less water than they had in the past. So we're charging them quite a bit less than we have in the past. So we don't know what Oxbow is going to use for water. They're going to use something, so we're hoping that will give us some additional revenue.
Can we get a water park up there?
The other thing, if there was a housing development on Parkview,
Yeah, that would help.
the more tanks we have, the more revenue coming from there, that would help.
There's just so few revenue coming in to offset the cost of,
Like what's needed. Okay, so,
We're just looking at this
Yes, yes.
cursory, and we're gonna talk about it in the future, right? All this stuff.
Yes.
yeah, we have to do something.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying about
Yeah.
all the budget stuff. We're
Yeah.
just looking
Well,
at it.
the first thing is we have to agree to take money out of the general fund.
Yes.
Right?
Take money
Or out of the reserve.
Out of the reserve,
Take back
yeah.
the general fund.
So
Is that something we have to do now? Yeah?
No, I
Okay.
want to wait. There's going to be a procedure to it, because the reserve, you can't take money out of the reserves for a different reason for what it's designated for.
Okay.
So we're probably going to have to have a public hearing to take the money out of the reserve,
Because it's set aside for tanks only.
tanks and infrastructure.
All right.
So they'll have to be able to do that, but we're also going to be losing money in the current fiscal year. So there's not much sense taking what we all,
Yeah.
when we're going to have to do it again down the road.
we have to do 2 things hand in hand.
We need to find a way to plug the hole in the pond, in the pool.
Does the village own any property? that we can sell.
Just bought some.
But again, you know, that's
Not
just
with the
temporary, you
sewer
know?
Yeah, I know.
I need, recurring.
I'm definitely afraid of tapping into reserve money when we know that we're gonna be having to tap into that over the next 5 years, 10 years, you know.
Yes, it's
I mean, no option.
I know, that's.
But if you look through the regular rest of the budget, you can see all the numbers were pretty damn close.
Outside of the sewer
From
budget?
outside of the sewer, from that one line, everything was pretty darn close and on par. We can, we are losing a little bit of interest because of the night class, because the rates are down.
But we're still making money, right?
Yeah, we're doing good with that. We could get rid of contingency altogether. That would save 18,000. The equipment fund we get rid of. Doesn't leave us, you know, you should have a contingency there in case something comes up. But that's something we can get rid of. You know, the other thing is, you know, we have more manpower down there because Eric is spending more time down there, which is necessary for the future, because if Chris retired and we don't have anybody, you know, to run a plant, or something happens to him.
The problem down there is how many hours does he need down there before he can even take a test? Couple thousand. That's the problem.
Nobody at all, I mean, nobody wants these rates to go up. I would just like to find out, I mean, that's my practice, so what the source of, I mean, if there's another way to come up with some money every year. We got one cell tower over here, maybe we get another cell tower over there, I don't know. So that's to that.
And the equipment fund, is that increasing the reserve?
It goes into a different reserve. That we set up.
And the contingency account is like exactly to the penny, so what's that mean?
So, at the end, so
Just balancing.
yeah, just balancing the budget.
Oh.
So it has to be a balanced budget, it's got to be zero, so that's what the stock working at.
Where does it go to zero?
The balances out the revenue through appropriations. That's what it But it doesn't right now because
Trying to figure out.
We'll use the bill. Never school go with the bill from the
I haven't seen it, you know.
Oh, yeah, that's we're supposed to be dealing with that.
Yeah, I haven't heard of
So we
it.
don't even know if that's included in here. I mean,
It should be, but yeah. If we go with that price, if they settle on a price for that, that's well above and beyond what we have left in funds for that project.
we did out back, the well drilling, and pump the water down so they could repair that big catch basin.
Costs a lot more than the anticipated.
Still a outstanding bill. That hasn't been settled.
It's a sewer. Well, we got the ban for that. There's some money left over, but I don't think much money there to ask them. I don't know if they're gonna step.
I don't know why it could take this long to sell it.
I have no idea why.
It's been months and months and months.
Well, so in anticipation of what we need to do going forward, we're going to survey to find out exactly where that $79,000 up here, like, generated from, I know you said 40,000, kind of put this, because
Yeah.
we're gonna have to answer to the public here, we're gonna come in, we're gonna want to know why, and how it's done, and that, like, the answers.
So, so if you look at the cost of, there's three main things: chemicals, testing, and electricity. Electricity is the second, is the big one. Talking between $2,400 to $3,000 per month for electricity there.
Is it more in certain areas of times or seasons than others?
It goes a little bit higher in the summer months because we have to run the disinfectant.
So a lot of this is regulations and DEC compliance.
It is all the chemicals, UV, electricity.
So we can bring up electricity ordinance.
I'm not sure if that So, like, general pays for their electric bills, sewer pays for their electric bills, electric pays for their electric bills.
That's what sewer is.
I think proper, accounting, general should be paying for their.
In typical circumstances. And not, so if there's a legal way to do it, it would be nice.
The town code of scowl.
And I trust you, you know what you're doing. You're just trying to.
Yeah, we're just trying to figure out.
Yeah.
It's
no,
like
I'm running an extension cord.
Believe me,
From the building over there.
Joe's house.
I have thought of that too.
Right, exactly.
Right, but where's that going to come out of?
So it would be somewhere else. The years coming up. Tie it to the electric bill.
So we're talking $40,000 a year for electric. How is it that the general fund going to absorb that? And then it's a point for general fund being able to get raise taxes. So we're taking this, all kind of thing, think of the moments.
And if you remove that contingency in the equipment, like you said, then that makes the deficit problem down. I mean, it doesn't build up the equipment fund, but if you already are having to tap into reserves, then.
Right.
And that's what we're trying to.
Well, it's eliminating expenses, so you just don't do it. So we also have a safety net, but really we don't tap into contingency very often, it just goes towards going. I guess it's the same thing.
Okay. Nice way to discuss it, but I'd like to look it over, take some time.
Yeah.
A lot of discussion, a lot of thought. It's not pleasant, but if there is a way, if somebody could give us some money to do all the septic tanks and the lines,
What a mess they got.
that would be, that would make me feel better for the future.
Yeah,
So you're talking about the individual septic tanks at
yeah,
people's
as
homes.
they wear out.
And they're all old, 82.
That's how long is that? They only last 40 years.
That's a lot.
Well, if you've seen like even the bridges, the concrete breaks down and when it's wet, I mean, you're underground all the time and they're always wet and they disintegrate in time.
And that, the contents of the tank
Yeah.
are corrosive too.
Yeah,
How do you know when they're going bad?
They start to crack.
Like, you're a homeowner, how do you know?
You'll see sewage in your yard.
It'll cave in, tops will cave in.
Oh.
When they pump them, if they can visually look in there,
Uh,
see cracks or.
Well, we've always had a good pumping schedule
We've been
and
pumping
always
every 3
taken care of
years.
them really
Everybody's.
well.
Yeah.
Um,
They look at it.
A lot of people, they don't last as long because they don't pump them as often.
Mhm.
So ours will last longer, and I don't expect them to start going bad tomorrow or next year, but it is something that down the road is a thing. But the main thing, if we could get some money from the government to cover our debt on a regular and pay that off, that would give us $140,000, and it would be great.
So you don't need anything from us right now?
No, we're just talking about it, just discussing the, I just, yeah, you needed to know where we are with that. It's bad. And, you know, it was unanticipated that it was going up so high. We had to use more, the cost went up. We did change providers a few years ago from one to price, but we can go out and look at different companies that have chemicals. As far as we know, the next closest one is Syracuse, and then I don't know what that'll cost to ship out here. But it's something we can do, look around for different chemical companies and see if we can get that somewhat cheaper.
I'm sure Amazon has them over there.
Yeah.
Overnight. They have everything else.
Yeah.
Can you put less of your administrator's salary in there, a lower percentage?
Yes, but it's only 20% right now.
It says 25.
Well, that might be 25.
And the other ones are 15, so could you make yours 15%?
Yes, I can do that.
Well, small one.
Yeah.
15%.
It's $8.
So it would be 5%. We say 10% of $20,000.
Well, there's 20, on the end there, it says 20,000 is in there.
19,575.
Yeah.
I love the number of people that are looking.
Anyways, if you shave 10 grand off there, there's 10.
Well, that'd be 50. Oh, well,
Right? Is it 25% of your salary, 10% of the mayor's salary, 10% of the trustees' salaries?
Yes.
Seems like there's justification that there could be less of your salary in there. And that would cut out.
yeah, and I'm just trying to figure out how much that dollar amount that would actually be. To be 10% of dropping this amount.
But it wouldn't be 10% of that, it would be
10 of my overall pay.
of your overall, yeah. So that's an idea.
And that's why we all came doing this.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just,
It'd be like about $7,000.
You'd have to switch it to another budget. though.
It's somebody, yeah, the general or sewer, general or electric would have to pick it up.
if you dropped it to 10%.
Yeah, just work all the numbers, right?
You
Squeeze
gotta-
them all.
Anything helps.
We have to, yeah, a lot of little things add up.
And we have to present it to the community.
Especially since the other salaries say 10% or 15%, and if we had yours matched there,
Mhm.
then we don't have to explain.
Sure. Yeah. It's a good idea.
Are you looking at the general now, or no?
Yeah.
Budget, let's see, revenue, taxes stays the same. Only, see, sales tax distribution to the county, that fluctuates every year depending on what they get and how much they want us to
Yes,
share with us.
Are you anticipating 9,000 more, is that the deal?
They gave us a number already.
Okay, okay.
So that's a hard number.
Okay, that's good.
Interest and earnings went down 6,000 because, again, of the interest rates. Increased some revenue under the cell tower, we have a contract with, so it's 4% a year. So that's going up. Tully building, I raised the rents on the apartments. And I'll keep on doing that until they're all about the same. Sales of equipment, it's not really a change because we're just not selling as
Less
much
things
equipment
to
as we
sell.
did last year. So we're looking at replacing the loader, possibly the mini excavator, and one of the Bobcats for the electric, and then zero turn. As I said, we had budgeted for the 150 and the 450, but because of backup, they couldn't be ordered previously, so I ordered them last week, but their lead time is about 20 weeks. So they may or may not be in this current budget. So if it's not in the current budget, then we'll put that money in the current budget that was supposed to be used and put that in that fund, the equipment fund, and they'll pay for that all out of the equipment fund. So it won't affect the budget. Everything else, state aid is all about the same. They haven't increased that since some time.
And this is based on 3% increase?
Yeah, so all the pays is 3%. For the non-union employees, it's 3%. And for the union employees, it's whatever was bargained.
Negotiated.
So that's a requirement to put that in. Everybody else is 3%. Most of their pay lines. No big changes on that page. Equipment, central garage equipment, $10,000. That's just the equipment I just mentioned that we were going to purchase. Page 3. Page 3, I dropped the contingency to balance it. Police and constable, they haven't really used that a whole lot. That's the sheriff's contract, and I left it the same, and that's what, because that's the contract that we signed with them a few months ago. Hopefully they'll start using it. Fire protection, that's gonna change. I gotta change the fire protection, but it's the updated one, I didn't change that one. So that'll go up a little bit for the contract that we signed with them. I left the streets and maintenance with the same, sidewalks is the same, and the park is the same.
Why is snow removal so much more?
What's that?
Why is snow removal?
Oh, yes, salt. Last year, because it was so cold, we used so a crazy amount of salt. And the salt prices are going up, and, there was a high demand for it. So I just put that up another extra 5,000, just based on what this winter is looking like and what we've already used. Have that a little bit. And for the street maintenance, we're gonna chip seal the subdivision this year. That was what, 40,000.
I think so, yeah.
And then we gotta also chip seal Sage and the Quonset and the
It's actually
Right.
micro pave
oh,
subdivision.
I think we bid it up chip seal. I think that's what they gave us.
What's the difference? One's oil and gravel?
Yeah.
One's oil and gravel, and the other one is a thick coating.
Oh.
But with a thick coating, you gotta stay out there for a few hours.
Mm.
The chip seal will be carried on it. I'm pretty sure we got that up, it was chip seal, and with a fogger after. So that idea is they would do the chip seal, and then after a couple weeks, they come through with a broom and get it all this loose stone off, and then come back through with what they call fogging, and it's like another quick drying layer of, that'll seal the top and make it a nice black undercoat.
Mm. And the brush pickup, is that, I see it didn't increase a lot over last year's, or this year's budget, but it's significantly higher than the actuals were the year before.
Which page you on?
Page 4, brush pickup, 8160.
Under sanitation.
Yep, that's hours of work. Yes, it's labor.
So you just are able to see now that they're incurring more labor time, so that's why you're assuming that the 25-26 budget is correct? Or more correct than the actuals were the year before?
Right, so I have a table and I input where I think they're gonna use their hours. But ultimately, if I could put all their hours under one line, I would, because it'd make it like simpler. Because I budget for 2,080 hours for for the guys, so where that falls within the budget, I mean, if they don't use it in brush pickup, maybe they'll use it in storm sewer or central garage or storm services. So I don't worry too much about the pay lines because in the end, it'll all equal out.
Okay.
But yeah, if I could put it all under one, I would be happy to, I wish I could do that.
Mhm.
Shade trees, I dropped 3,500. I'm not sure why we had $7,000 in there for this current budget. I don't remember, Joe.
I don't know, I think we were gonna buy more trees from
Yeah.
NIPA and then we didn't get as many.
And the last page is the state stuff, the requirements, not our choice.
State retirement up that much?
Yeah. And remember, we talked about that a few months ago when I showed you the numbers, that was gonna go up, and, it's for a variety of reasons, but that's the bill that they send us for retirement. It's 103,000 divided by all three funds.
Hmm.
Electric is the bulk of it. So I'd like to change a couple things here. So I've said, last year and the previous years, I like to try to keep everything as the same as possible. Like the street maintenance, it's a big ticket, but what we'll do is we've got $70,000 in there, and we'll do as much as we can with that. That's the idea. Same thing with sidewalks. We have 20,000, and we'll do as much sidewalks as we can possibly do for that amount. And then the other costs are fairly, they will go up, like internet and server, stamps and envelopes, paper. A lot of stuff will go up, but it goes up a lot slower, so we can keep those numbers the same year to year. So really the only bigger change is that it just keeps it under control. We used to, change the budget around a lot for equipment, and that just bothered me because one year you'd have, $50,000 for roads and X amount for equipment, and then it'd switch, and then you'd have like 20 for equipment and all this for roads, and just keep everything the same and just kind of work within what you've got. It makes budgeting a lot easier. You're not making all these sorts of budget transfers all the time.
And what is the overall average increase in labor rates that you're proposing?
So it's 3% for me, Renee, Barb, and Gary, which means part-time. So the three of us are part-time, or non-union. And then the union, it's all part of the contract that's signed. So whatever was in the contract was agreed upon. I'm not sure what the percentage is for that, because the lineman took a 0 increase, so they're like 45, 46 for all
Because of
3
that.
years.
That salary increase that was negotiated a couple of years ago.
That's a 3-year contract, right? We got it?
Yeah.
All right, so when will we have to deal with that
We
then?
have 2 more years.
2 more?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is the first year, there's 0, next year 0,
Yeah.
and then we'll have to negotiate.
Okay.
It'll be 20, Yeah, so we'll probably have to start negotiating in a year for the contract to be
Yep.
in June 1st of 2019.
Okay, my brain hurts.
Yeah.
More questions?
And I'll,
Want to get out of here before I give you more?
I lost sleep over it. I lost sleep over it.
This isn't gonna be fun.
The good news is, and this
Come
is
up with
something,
ideas, you know, there's no way out.
the thing that to point out is the general fund is in really good shape. We have enough to put a good amount of sidewalks, a good amount in parks, a good chunk for equipment reserve. We haven't raised taxes in 4 years, so, that's something to say, okay, all the other municipalities are up quite a bit, right?
So when you say we haven't raised taxes, you mean we haven't raised the percentage of the assessments have gone up?
Yeah,
So they have the perception that taxes have gone up.
But we don't collect any more than we did
right, so,
the previous year.
It's
Even
kind
if the
of-
assessments went up, we still collect the same amount.
I wonder if
Yes.
people get that though.
they don't.
Yeah.
They don't, and I try to explain it to a number of people, is that we don't set the tax rate, and just because the assessments go up, doesn't mean we collect more money. We sent, right here under revenue for general, 298,141, and it's been that number for like all 3 years. And so we send that to the county. That's how much we're gonna collect, that's how much it's gonna come from people's places, but we don't set the tax rate. So no matter what the assessment does, we're collecting that amount of money. So what happened when the assessment went up last year, because it went up quite a bit, our tax rate dropped a lot. Because,
Mhm.
that goes up, or, so, it's actually the county who sets the tax rate based on what we ask for and what
Yeah.
the assessment
In
is.
their budget.
So our tax
So
rate's
we're gonna be
like
paying more no matter what.
4.42 cents per thousand.
Yeah. And you have communities that don't drop the tax rate, like where we are in Castile. The assessment went up and they left everything level and our taxes went like through the roof. Because they didn't bring down the tax rate to adjust. They said, oh,
Great.
there's more money.
And you can't use, I think you said this, but you can't use any of the property tax revenue toward your sewer.
Correct.
And why is that?
State law.
Okay.
They don't, like, electric, for instance, that has an opportunity to make a good amount of money, so
Yeah.
they don't want you to gouge. And there was people got, communities got real big trouble for taking way too much out of the electric fund to be a slush fund elsewhere.
Mhm.
So they didn't have to increase taxes and do all these things, so
Yeah,
they were just,
Yeah.
All
Fleece.
separate entities.
they're just
yes,
fleecing
yeah.
the electric company to
Wow.
pay for everything else, so.
We got ratepayers here and taxpayers here. Sewer ratepayers,
Mhm.
electric ratepayers,
Yeah.
general fund, taxpayers.
It's really supposed to be looked at as like 3 separate companies
Okay.
with its own revenue and appropriation.
All right, well,
Okay, I make a
Thanks
motion
for all
to
the
adjourn.
details.
But we
Yeah.
haven't, we haven't raised taxes.
yeah, we have not raised
I
taxes.
missed it.
Yeah, well, you first, I second. All in favor?
Oh, we misprivileged the floor.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Oh, no, no.
Okay. Okay, motion made and seconded to adjourn, so
Yep,
thank you all.
yep.
Okay, thank you. Thanks, Courtney.
Yeah, good job, Courtney.
Thanks.
Yeah, it's a heavy quitting.
I-
Not that you're giving it to us.
Yeah, I've been.
It's a lot of work with it.
I have been really worried about this for like.
Bernadette,
the entire
can I
time
see it
I've
before
been
you
here.
leave?
Yeah,
Sure.
I did
It's
talk
been-
to
it's
Bob.
been this thing.
Okay.